What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So I did miss out this one yesterday, and that's only because it was a Sunday, and Sunday, as you know, is my day of rest. But we do have a brand new hero, a brand new costume for an existing hero in the Untold Tales summon, and Medea is featured. Which is pretty interesting since she's probably one of the newest heroes in this summon. And I feel like we haven't quite gone over all of the existing heroes yet that were around before her. So it's interesting that they've decided to go ahead and do a costume for Medea. But that is what we've got. So, of course, we've got to have a look at her today, figure out whether this costume is maybe too soon. Maybe it's been released too soon. I don't know, but that remains to be seen. I'll be interested to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. First of all, though, I do want to say she looks absolutely mental. I mean, just look at the work that they've done on this art. I really do like the card. So that, is definitely a massive reason to like this hero. But she is a really insane hero, and I do actually have a copy of Medea. So hopefully I'm relatively qualified to be able to speak on this costume. Now, she is obviously a dark hero. And she has had a bit of a switch around in her class as well as the art. So she's gone from being a ranger, which gives her the chance to bypass, to now being a fighter, which gives her a revive talent as well. I think the fighter class is probably a bit stronger, which is awesome, but she does do a boatload of damage. So the ranger class with the bypass is nice as well. Now, in terms of the family bonus, we do have the Nightmare family bonus for Medea. So she gets a 50 or 75% chance, depending on how many Nightmare heroes you have, to cast negative 10% mana generation for 3 turns on any enemy that deals special skill damage to the character. So it kind of works in the same way as having the Sorcerer class, where you get that negative mana generation upon damage, but she doesn't need to have the class talent for it to activate, which is awesome. And then she also benefits from now a costume bonus. So we have an attack bonus of 13%, defense of 13%, health of 18%, and mana of 5%. And this is where I'm saying things may be getting slightly out of hand. Because if we do switch off the max power preview, we can see her team power is 1125. Now, if I go into my roster real quick, I don't want to bounce around too much, but I will just go to my roster. So Medea's running a team power, and I've got her second limit broken, 1322. And that makes her one of my more powerful heroes. I think, in fact, probably my most powerful hero with the second limit breaks on her. That's not saying that some of the newer heroes that have been released are not more powerful, but I'm just saying she has already got the stats to be a really insane hero. And now we're just going into the realms of absolute bonkersness with doing the costume. So yeah, 1125 team power is absolutely massive. You can see the stats there: 1158 attack, 1116 on the defense, and 2016 on the health. Really, really good, very balanced, and super survivable as well. Now, she also gets this passive, so she has a 50% chance to deal 80% damage to all enemies and give herself 19% mana generation for 2 turns after she casts her special skill or upon the cast of her special skill, which is often something that you forget about, but that extra 80% damage has definitely gotten me out of a few sticky situations, and I'm no doubt it will get you out of them as well. So far, so good for Medea. In terms of the special, we will just look at the original special first. So she's of the Changing Tides mana speed, which means that her first cast runs at fast speed. The second cast will be then at average speed, and everything after that, you will be casting the second special at fast speed and at average speed, depending on where you are in the tides. I hope that makes sense, but it should by now if you've been playing the game for more than 5 minutes. So on the first charge, she's dealing 365% damage to the target nearby, and the target automatically casts a shifting mindless attack on a random ally. Had to switch over there. On a random ally when mana is full at the start of a turn during 3 turns. It should be random enemy, to be fair. The wording's a bit off there, but she casts the shifting mindless attack on a random enemy, and then it shifts When it's triggered, it shifts to the hit ally and the duration gets refreshed. And then the target and nearby enemies also get negative 50% decrease for any healing received for the following 3 turns, which is also a very, very solid effect. So let's see how the costume stacks up. So she's going to deal 355% damage to the target nearby, so 10% decrease in damage. And then she casts the shifting mindless attack again for 3 turns. So that's exactly the same. And then the target nearby get negative 45% decrease for any healing received for 3 turns. So far, so bad. In terms of the special, everything's reduced. The damage is reduced by 10%, and the negative healing is reduced by 5%. So they only get negative 45% decrease for healing received. Now on the second charge, she was dealing 430% damage to the target nearby. The mindless attack lasts for 4 turns, and the target nearby get negative 75% decrease for any healing received for 4 turns. Now, on the new costume version, she's going to be dealing 450% damage to the target nearby. So that is massive. So there's an increase of 30% damage. She has had a buff as well. So that's been increased. The original's been increased, and this is going up even more. So 450% damage is a massive hit to the target nearby. And then the mindless attack lasts for 4 turns, and the target nearby now get negative 85% decrease for healing received for 4 turns. 85% is just putting you in the grave and making sure that you cannot get back out of it again. So that is brutal. So for the first charge, it's kind of making you want to use the original version. But then the second tide, if you get round to that second cast, that damage and that negative healing is just brutal. I mean, to be quite honest, you could use either one of these still and you'd be doing really well. But I think defensively, I would rather have the costume, because then you get the revive ether talent. She gets a chance to come back and deal that second hit, which is very, very important. With this version, the original version, you don't get that extra chance. So I'd probably use the original version on attack, just because you don't get that many chances to cast. So you want to make sure that first hit hits as hard as possible. But with the defensive team, you definitely want to be using the costume for her. Now let's have a quick look at the ether talent. So she's swapped out the attack up ether talent for the special skill boost ether talent. I would probably prefer the attack up, but then like I said before, I'd still say that on defense, you do want to be using this version. The special skill boost gives her an extra 30% damage on her special skill if she casts during the first 6 turns. So that is going to be strong in and of itself. It's going to add extra power to her first cast. So yeah, in summary, an absolutely brutal costume for Medea. Personally, I feel like it might be a little bit too quick, and I think the power creep is probably a little bit too high for this hero. But that being said, she is an absolute S tier hero all day long. And if you are lucky enough to grab this costume, you should definitely max this hero out. So that is enough said on Medea. Please do let me know what you think in the comments. Drop us a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Share it with your mother, guys, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.